from KGR, and tragic news for the children and men children. Saturday morning cartoons is no longer a thing. Well, kinda. I bet you Andre from Black Nerd Comedy is gonna be doing a video about that. Like, you know, this guy. And if he does, I'll actually put an annotation up. But if he doesn't, then why not? That's what he watches cartoons. That's what he does. But here in this video, I'm going to be talking about what happened and also go over my childhood. So if you don't want to hear my childhood, well, that freaking sucks for you, doesn't it? So first, let me talk about what happened. Alright, so here, Vortex on the CW, or for us locally, Channel 3. They were probably like one of the last networks that had a legit Saturday morning cartoon block. Like CW would normally play shows like Big Bang Theory, maybe 2.5 Men, Family Guy, you know, shows like that, and plus a whole bunch of other crap I don't give two craps about. But on Saturday mornings, they would play shows like Sonic X, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Digimon Fusion, I think it was like Rescue Rangers or Rescue Heroes, and they also played Dragon Ball Z and Cubix, I don't know. And Spectacular Spider-Man, they play a bunch of stuff. I actually got a VCR. Well, I didn't get it. Well, I'm a freaking liar. I got a VCR, and I use it mainly to record Sonic X, so I could watch that series over and over and over and over again. Like, I probably watched that show probably like 10 times over. And personally, I like it, except for the last season. I don't like the season when they're in space with the Meta-X and stuff like that. Sure, it's completely original, but still, I'm not too huge on it. But anyway, and I also record Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal because I wanted to catch up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Personally, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is that amazing of a series. However, like a little while ago, it started to finally get interesting. And lately, they've been actually running a bunch of reruns. But if you want to catch up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, or also the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can get Nicktoons, which is like in the hundreds of channels. So you have to pay extra for that. But for those who weren't as fortunate, you could have caught it free on Channel 3 or CW, Vortex, on Saturday mornings. And just Saturday, September 27th, I believe, that was the end of that. That was the last time we were going to have local Saturday morning cartoons on local channels, you know? And it is really a real freaking shame. It's the end of an era, because I think kids are mainly just catching it up online, and they're just streaming a bunch of stuff. You darn whippersnappers! Man, I sound old. But yeah, like, I remember when I was a kid. I know I look like a kid, don't I? But back when I was like in elementary school, I would wake up around like 8 or 9. Watch Sonic X, watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember I tried out this show called Robots. It utterly failed, but I actually didn't like. I didn't mind it all that much. It wasn't that bad. Like, sure, it wasn't groundbreaking and it wasn't amazing, but hey, I gave it a chance. I gave that thing a chance better than freaking Byakugan. Nobody talks about that anymore. Not that I know of. But anyway, my friend got it. I got the game, I tried it out, and I wasn't too thrilled by it. I'm just gonna stick with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly Yu-Gi-Oh! I might buy another Pokemon deck, but who cares? Who cares? We're talking about Saturday morning cartoons, but right now we're actually talking about my childhood. But anyway, I'd watch my Saturday morning cartoons. I'd watch Sonic. I'd watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd watch Pokemon. And I'd watch Pokemon on, like, Cartoon Network. But, okay, small rant. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not belong on Nicktoons. I personally think it belongs on Cartoon Network because it has been on Cartoon Network, and I believe that does feel like a proper home for it. Even Digimon Fusion, I think Digimon Fusion is also on Nicktoons, but again, I think it belongs on Cartoon Network. Sure, Cartoon Network has shows like Regular Show, Uncle Grandpa, and Adventure Time and stuff like that. Regular Show. I'm pretty sure I already said Regular Show. I'm still rambling, but still, that feels like a proper home for it. I think Nickelodeon also has Dragon Ball Z, which again, I don't like. Fine. Nickelodeon, you're not the place for anime. But, as I digress. I would watch my Saturday morning cartoons, and then at noon, I would go down to Saturday's Market. It's a flea market where I would go to. It's a local thing, and ironically, I work there now. And I would always buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon cards, and like buy this guy Buck. And like nowadays, I don't buy too many cards anymore. But when there is a new deck, or like at least a new deck that I'm interested in, or a new box set, I would go to Buck and buy the stuff from him. Like, sure, I actually could get them cheaper at this place called Card Stadium, but I don't know. I support Buck because Buck's a cool dude. I grew up with him, and he had a son around my age, and I don't know. I still like Buck. I still talk to him almost every week, see how his day went and stuff. And whenever there's new cards, I'd get them. But then I would also go get an Annie Ann's pretzel, or two. I think it was mainly two. And I don't know how much they were back then, but nowadays it's actually the cheapest Annie Ann's pretzels around. Like, I think they're right now like $2.25. They used to be $2. Then there's another pretzel stand I opened like almost right next to it, which is real bull crap. And personally, I prefer Annie Ann's, but I don't buy too many Annie Ann's anymore for some reason. I don't know. But whatever. Annie Ann's, love you. Too bad in the mall you're way too freaking expensive. You're like freaking $3 something for a freaking pretzel. Let me know in the comments, how much is Annie Ann's around you? If it's less than $2, I'd be freaking impressed. But anyway, I'd also go to a video game stand and see what they have, and maybe eventually buy some games from there, because I was given $10 every week, and either I'd save up and get a game or buy cards. Most of the time I bought cards. And now I work at that game stand, and it's really, really awesome. So yeah, now I just work. Like, nowadays that I work, I would still record my cartoons. I have a VCR, I have a tape. Yeah, I don't have a DVR. No, I have a VCR. You know, for cassette tapes. God. And I'd record Sonic X over and over and over again. I'd record Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd record Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. And then on Sundays, I'd record Pokemon. I would record it on Saturdays, but I don't have a good cable box. Like, it doesn't automatically transfer channels. Like, it sucks how you need a digital box now. Like, I'd love recording, and then automatically I could just go to another channel. And you do that directly through the VCR. You don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have to go into the cable and actually manually set that up. It's fine. Anyway, Saturday morning cartoons are dead. Kinda. So yeah, nowadays I still do watch Saturday morning cartoons, but it sucks that nowadays it's mainly anime. Like, back in the day, like, I know I sound like I'm old, but I shouldn't be properly saying that. Like, at least saying what I'm about to say, because I didn't grow up with that. But, like, back in, like, probably, like, the 80s or something, I don't know, there was, like, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Smurfs, I think 90s had Inspector Gadget. I have no idea. Can't remember when Inspector Gadget was, because I don't really care about it all that much. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I actually liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the 2000s era. Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome series. It got like as dark as freaking Dark Knight and stuff. That was really awesome. And I had a bunch of figures, and I had to get rid of them all. It's because here in my room got shrunken down a lot, and I didn't have a room for all of them, which is a real freaking shame. First world problems. And I remember, it wasn't even Vortex, and it wasn't even on CW either. Like, when I started watching it, remember at first, I think it might have been on Channel 4 or Channel 3, I can't remember. It was on some channel, and it was like a bunch of clowns, but I don't remember too much of that. I mainly remember Foxbox. It was on Fox, or for us, Channel 4. And then it changed to 4Kids TV, which is still on Fox. That was the one I mainly grew up with. And then later, they ended up making it so it was 4Kids TV on Fox, and then CW 4Kids. I'm like, what up with this? Like, it's still under the 4Kids name. I guess they did it just to show off more shows. And it would suck when I had to like there was like 2 shows going on at once I wanted to see. So I'd record the one, and then just watch the other one either in another room, or thanks to no digital boxes at the time, just watch that show while the other one was being recorded, all on the same TV. But yeah, it sucks how we don't have cartoons. But back to the story. Then eventually 4Kids TV was no longer a thing. Fox didn't want to do anything with Saturday morning cartoon blocks anymore. So it was just all up to CW. So they went from CW 4Kids, they changed it to Toonseye, and then changed it to Vortex. And now it's nothing. Well, actually, they changed it to something else, but it's trying to mainly focus on educational stuff and live action stuff. And personally, I absolutely despise that because, one, I'm not having my Saturday morning cartoons, but for realistic reasons. Number 2, if you want your kids to check out educational stuff, they have school. And it's not like school's an optional thing either. It's mandatory. So get your educational crap out of that Saturday morning cartoon block and put the Saturday morning cartoons back. Because I still watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. But since Vortex has been behind, I've been catching up on the cartoons online. I'm not going to be watching on Nicktoons because I don't think Nicktoons is a proper freaking home for it. But, again, first world problems. Like, there's a bunch of shows on Nicktoons that don't belong in there. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Digimon Fusion. I don't care about Digimon, but still I think belongs on Cartoon Network. And Dragon Ball Z. No. All belong on either Saturday morning cartoon blocks, which most of them were, or Cartoon Network. And I liked how sometimes, well, I remember with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, it would be both on Saturday morning cartoons on a local channel, which was probably either 4Kids or CW 4Kids, or it would be on, I mean, not or, but both, it would be both on that and Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network was behind, and CW ended up getting the newer episodes, which is really awesome. But fine. I think it was CW. I don't know when they did the transition to just CW, no longer regular Fox, whatever. But yeah, it's a real shame. It's truly the end of an era. Do you think that it could eventually come back? I personally have hopes that it will come back, because I have a feeling that the CW is going to get a whole crap ton of email with a bunch of hate, and maybe people make a petition saying, bring Saturday morning cartoons back. I have a feeling that they're going to do that. Somebody's going to make a petition and give it to CW and say, hey, bring Saturday morning cartoons back. Nobody wants this educational crap, so bring back Saturday morning cartoons. But, like, the only show that I watched on there that you can't get anywhere else is Sonic X. And I watched that show 10 times over. If I really wanted to watch it again, I could find it online somewhere and watch it from there. But it doesn't have that same magic as watching it on TV. In fact, it really sucks how I can't watch Saturday morning cartoons anymore because I work. And watching Saturday morning cartoons, especially on Saturday mornings, it had that magic, you know? But, oh well, right? So let me know in the comments, what do you think about all this, and do you think Saturday morning cartoons could eventually come back? I personally have hopes that it may come back, but if it's not coming back, then too bad. Salute you, Saturday morning cartoons. It's been a good 10 years, probably. No, it hasn't even been 10 years. I've been watching it for probably about like 15 years, probably. I don't know when I started watching. I remember my friend, when I was in probably 3rd grade, a friend told me, hey, there's a Sonic cartoon, like a new Sonic cartoon. It's called Sonic X. I'm like, oh my god, no way. He's like, yeah, it's on Channel 4 on Saturday mornings. I'm like, oh my god, I need to catch up on this. Because I didn't have a guide. I didn't have a TV guide at the time. I just had to tune in. And nowadays, it's not even a thing anymore. You have the freaking TV guide. And personally, I can't even live without a TV guide anymore. But man, Like, I know I'm too young to say times have changed, but they really have. They really have. It's weird. I'm looking down at freaking Hyrule Warriors. Cause I did a freaking video showing off, like, Gotten. Man, it's a good game. But now with things like Netflix, Hulu Plus, and Amazon Instant Video, I don't know. It's a real shame. Saturday morning cartoons is no longer a thing. But still, technically, it still does exist through Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. However, you're going to have to pay for cable. And for those who didn't have freaking cable and stuff like that, because I know my teacher, at least one of my teachers, didn't have cable anymore. At least your kid could still watch Vortex or something like that, Toon's-Eye. But fine. And it sucks that you have to pay, really, like you have to pay for the hundreds channels, like channels over 100, just to get freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, it's ridiculous. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? And I don't know. It sucks. It really, really does suck. It's like the world telling me, hey Kyle, it's time for you to grow up. No! I will not grow up. I may eventually, but I don't know. I've been slowly, very, very slowly growing up. But yeah. I remember I was at Saturday's Market, and I walked by this one stand that had like a bunch of army stuff. I'm not sure if I said this already, because I remember this video was taking like 2 takes. And I said it in the first take, I know that. But I don't know if I said it in this take. But there was this one stand that had a bunch of army stuff. And then they had a small selection of video games. Mainly a bunch of retro stuff. And by retro I mean like GameCube, PS2, Xbox, backward. But there was nothing too amazing there. But they had a small TV there. And I was walking by and they had Sonic X on. And it was the episode when Chris was kidnapped by Eggman. And Eggman had all the Chaos Emeralds, and Sonic then eventually did go Supersonic, and Chaos Control happened. But I only walked by it, and I saw Chris like pretty much bolted to the wall. And I don't know, I like that episode now because of that memory, and also the baseball episode. Even though it technically didn't end well because Eggman just pretty much didn't hold up to his deal, and he pretty much just scammed him. It was still a good thing, like, it felt American for an anime, you know? So, let me know in the comments what do you think about this, and also, what were your favorite cartoons you like to watch? I personally liked Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sonic X, Pokemon, and Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles were amazing. And, again, it's the end of an era. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next video.